Hello and welcome everybody to the sixth installment in Alice Baker in Japan. So basically these are the incredible adventures of the unsinkable Alice Baker. I don't know which season we're in. We've been playing this for a very long time.
Yes.
Several years at this stage. And Dottie and Alice, or Alice and Dottie, are now kind of on a tour of Japan. So here you're here to basically educate yourselves on the on Japanese culture, etc. But unfortunately, as is basically usual for you guys, you have been drawn into something. You have been asked by her Imperial Highness Sadako, the Empress Dowager, to investigate some weird stuff that's happening, and it's somehow supernatural because she knows that you have been through the mirror, and she's also been through the mirror, and she basically is some kind of a person who can sense the preternatural, considering that she is also part of the imperial family and has given birth to a living god. She's special anyway. And so etc etc etc, and you are now in a situation that you have been robbed. Somebody has broken into your hotel room. It's been ransacked, but as far as you can tell, the people who've broken in have been very selective in the things that they've taken, because they've only taken your notebooks and diaries. They haven't taken your jewelry, which would be expensive and would be worth a lot. They also haven't taken any money or anything of value, of, let's say, material value. Because, of course, your notes are very valuable, so are your personal diaries and stuff. They are gone. And the police have been called. And Officer Hashimoto has arrived. And Takane has been asked to interpret, because obviously they don't speak English. And Takane has arrived. And interestingly enough, because was that the night when you were at dinner with her?
Yes, and we also, after we saw the room, we basically told her what happened, just to double check if she's fine, if someone ransacked her room as well, and then also going via the front desk and police.
Okay, so let's roll a D100, because I want to check something. Yes, let's just spread everything.
We are all tired and annoyed.
that goes as
the poor
red.
officer will have to deal with 3 grumpy women.
Yeah, but we are lucky. She hasn't changed, because she was wearing traditional attire. And the thing is, by the way she is dressed, he can tell that she isn't just anyone.
And we are also wearing still kimonos.
But you are European, you are gaijin, you are, but and in Japan, still to this day, but back then even more so, women were not really that important or that highly regarded. But even amongst the non-highly regarded part of the population, there are tiers, and she comes in at a very high tier. You don't know if it's maybe the way she is wearing the kimono, maybe the way she has tied the belt or whatever it is, but his demeanor does change when she walks in. And you also notice that her demeanor is very different from the way she would act with you. She exudes something that you would consider authority, which you have not seen in her before. And he bows, and she doesn't.
Oh, that is something that definitely is visible and understandable.
Yeah. And she talks to him very, very quickly in Japanese, and he seems to shrink a little. Like, she's using her voice very quietly, and she doesn't get loud, but something she's saying is kind of, she's giving him a dressing down, you would say. This is what this looks like to you. Then he turns to you and Dottie bows and walks out.
We will give a little bow back at least and then look at her.
And then she basically, because the front desk clerk is also still here, because I mean, somebody has broken into a room in his hotel. I mean, that's like terrible and stuff. And then she speaks to you, she addresses you, and she says, well, I think maybe we should regroup. And she looks at him pointedly. And then at you.
Sure. Well, they did offer us new rooms, right?
Yeah.
Should we have a look at the new rooms? Just peace and quiet. We will be back. Thank you for your help so far. Just talking to the
he really fusses over you. He gives you the keys and he's like, oh, if he was French, he would say désolé all the time. This is just unacceptable. I don't know what to say. Please accept my heartfelt apologies. This should never have happened, and this hasn't happened ever before. I don't know why. And especially why 2 young ladies would be targeted like that.
And why they didn't steal valuable stuff. That is even weirder.
I cannot even speak to that. I feel terrible for you, madam, and we will do our utmost to make the coming weeks of your stay, and I hope that there will be many more as pleasant as possible.
Alice will give him a little bow and a thank you for his support. And let's see, whenever the police says we can get all our stuff, then we can organize how everything is moved. But that will be a thing for tomorrow. If he could make sure that no one enters the room that is
I will ask 2 of our security to actually sit here during the night and make sure that nobody breaks in again.
And the question would be to the police. Maybe we would have asked initially, or maybe the question is if we can grab anything from our room, like at least, PJs, toothbrush, like something like that, or if we are not allowed to touch anything in a room. Not sure how police would have worked.
Make a luck roll. Considering, yeah, and so, yeah. Your luck has improved.
Not really.
It hasn't? What is it?
My luck is 37.
What is your sanity?
55.
Okay, it's completely the reverse for Dottie. Her luck is higher than her san.
Yeah, no, my sanity is quite good. The sanity rolls were good for me, but I'm giving a lot of luck to get rolls into a better position, even if it's like 3 points, 2 points here, 3 points there.
She has passed her luck check.
I have a critical failure. I rolled a 100. I'm just like, I'm only seeing zeros. This is not a good thing, Victoria.
The thing is, you never asked. You didn't speak to them, so you decide that you had better not take anything. But they have a boutique.
Then it would be the question to the hotel guy if at least we could have like nightgowns and toothbrush refreshments.
Oh yes, of course, they will be complimentary and on the house. And basically, if maybe you would like to follow me, I'm going to unlock the boutique for you that you can make your choices, because obviously now it's already closed. And he basically shepherds you towards the boutique. I mean, it's like one of those really like. It's a huge hotel. As you know, they also have offices now because all of the embassies moved in there. But it's like almost like a little town. They have got like 2 shops. They have a hairdresser. So it's like, and they sell all kinds of things. Toiletries, perfumes, clothing, even just stuff that are just kind of like necessities that you might not have brought, that you might have forgotten or whatever. So you get beautiful whatever you like, PJs, nightgowns. It's all made of
PJs,
silk and, like super
little
high
bit
end blah.
like toothbrush, and maybe for the next day, because the next day, at least Alice would not want to run around in a kimono like an easygoing dress. Stockings, shoes are fine. We have them.
Yeah, and they give it to you for free.
Okay. But Alice will not go for the insanely expensive.
Yeah.
Just decent. Also
Yes.
for Dottie, same for sure, I think.
Yeah.
Just something, because we will get our stuff. Alice is quite sure tomorrow we can get all the things and they will be done.
So it's comfortable and serviceable, but it wouldn't be Dior.
No, just easy to throw over, that you can run around, at least in a hotel, without being looked at, and go for breakfast and meeting with the colonel or something like that.
So that's not a problem at all. You get all of this, and then you make your and he's already handed you the keys, and so you make your way to your new room. It's again a suite. So basically, with kind of like a 2-bedroom suite with bath and bathroom like it was before. And then you basically walk inside, and and now you've got like another fruit basket and champagne, and and it's all like with compliments and flowers and God knows what, and God knows where they got the flowers at this time of night, but and then you and there's also this lounge area. So basically it's like a suite where you have kind of like a living area in the middle, and then you have like 2 rooms on either side. And a shared bathroom that you can access directly from your rooms as well. So it's more like it's U-shaped. And then Takane says, I have never heard of anyone breaking into this hotel. And they have special security because of all of the embassies.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people here that have quite the money. Because honestly, traveling here, only foreigners with money can pay. They were after our notes, so it's clearly about what we're working on.
Yes, and to make it possible for them to break in here, that's an inside job.
There are so many people working here. Just one needs to be at the point and give him enough money, and they will let someone in. Close their eyes.
I agree.
It's not a private place. There are a lot of foreigners running in and out. I'm not sure if they can take count of everyone. They could have entered already during afternoon craziness and just hid somewhere.
Absolutely.
But the good thing is, whatever we wrote down, at least we still remember. I'm not sure what they will do with it, because what we wrote down is not secret knowledge. We don't have papers that are like, ooh.
And Dottie says, well, yeah, but maybe it's not so much about, maybe the facts aren't that unusual and common knowledge, but the fact that we have been collecting them and where we have been looking.
In my diary, I definitely wrote down that we meet up with, I'll call her Her Majesty, and that might be a problem. So the question is, looking at Akana, can you warn her that information might be out that she sent us?
I will.
Not sure if that's really causing problems for her, but it would be good if she knows, just in case.
No, I will definitely let her know, and I will go to the palace now and speak with her, or at least one of her ladies in waiting, straight away. But I think you're settling here. It's still a nice room. And then she bows deeply and she says, I really, truly apologize.
You don't have to. Thank you for all the help. You were with us. You are the farthest from being responsible for anything here, because we had a lovely night thanks to you, and fantastic food.
Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
But please let Her Majesty know that this is not a point for us to give up, right? So for me, it's more like, okay, now I know we are onto something, because if not, this would not have happened. Her feeling is right, and we are on the right track. It has to do probably with the submarine. We will see.
Probably.
Let's meet up tomorrow for breakfast.
Yes, do let's.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
She
And
bows
have a good
again.
night.
You too. And then she leaves.
I'll let her out the room, close, lock after her, and will plonk myself on one of the lounge chairs and be like, this is so annoying. The only good thing is everything I wrote down is only from Japan, not from something else. But all the memories and everything we did before coming here is in there as well. Whoever reads that will think we are insane, because we talk to deities. We talk to Kitsune. What?
Well, I mean, I think talking to a Shinto deity is probably not that unusual. They do it all the time. They might get a little bit jealous that two gaijin actually got to meet one of them.
I just hope that they are not going back and then causing troubles for the Tanaka family.
If they know what's good for them, they should really stay away from that place and from those people, because I have a feeling that this kitsune would also have its own ideas about how the people who helped her should be treated.
Oh, but the Tanakas did not help. We helped.
Yeah, but they also didn't hinder, and I think she does. I think they will be fine. Well, hopefully they will be.
Let's just hope and see what happens. Also, this gives me the idea that in future my diary will be coded, so at least give them work in case they steal again.
Well, there are many ciphers that are easy to use but difficult to. Well, they will put anyone off because it takes time to decipher them. Yeah. Sure. Good idea.
So tomorrow I need a new notebook.
I hear that Japan is the land of stationery.
Did they also steal Alice's sketch pad? Just to be curious. Because she didn't draw anything that was related to the case.
What did you draw?
Probably some sketches from the hotel.
Like buildings and stuff.
Like building, maybe a temple, but nothing really related to this. So then maybe they just looked through it, but...
Yeah, I mean, you would have seen that they would have rifled through it, but they didn't take it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, then a notebook would be the next investment.
Well, then we should go to Ginza tomorrow morning and just after breakfast and just do some shopping.
Or we get it for free from the hotel.
Or that.
Because that for sure was stolen.
Yeah.
I'm awake and I'm annoyed.
And Dottie rolls her eyes. Okay, how about some chess?
Yeah.
She rings the bell. Bellboy comes. She says, "We need a chess set." "Of course, milady." He walks off. Comes back with a chess set.
You get a tip. Oh no, we're in Japan. They don't like
You don't
tips.
tip.
Ignore. We don't tip.
Yeah.
We just say a thank you and send them out again. Lock the door behind them.
And the two of you play chess. Make a roll against your luck. No, against your intelligence.
No, luck is fine.
No, intelligence, because it's not a game of luck at all. Okay.
I rolled a 97.
Maybe you should get different dice. She rolled a 46, which is a normal
was a
success.
different one.
She beats you.
Okay.
It's a
That is fine. I think for Alice it's totally fine.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wasn't even making fun of this. For you, it's totally fine because it's a good thing. I mean, you taught her and she's now able to beat you, so that's good. It shows
Also, I'm
that
quite
she's
sure
improving.
Alice is not there 100%.
Yeah.
In her brain, it's working on how and who and where did we leave clues that.
Yeah.
And for her, the only one where we could have stumbled over is the first mate that we talked to. That's the first one where we maybe stirred some suspicion.
And he was the one that looked like one of those fish people.
Or that we... Oh no! The 13th... Wait. We have a meetup with the guy who will do the expedition in 2 days.
Yeah. Tomorrow
it might be also that we have a meeting with Mitch, Professor Fukuchi.
Mm-hmm.
That might also be a point that stirs someone getting curious.
Yeah.
One of these. And the first mate had something to hide for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we should visit him tomorrow again.
Maybe we should.
He's lucky that I'm not seeing him now.
Dottie laughs. Yes, he is, and he doesn't even know.
Maybe he does.
I'm not sure.
If he's the one that told someone that someone came for him and asked questions, he's quite sure something will come out of it.
Yeah, but then it's even better that, then he's even luckier that you're not there.
True.
I'm afraid of what you might do.
Make a very uncomfortable life for him, but yeah. Let's at least try to get some sleep.
Yeah, she yawns. Let's go. But before she goes to bed, she takes one of the lounge chairs and puts it in front of the inward open in front of the door that opens inward. She's
before she does that, Alice will ring the bellboy again.
Okay.
She will ask for an English crime novel, whatever they have at hand that she can lend to read.
They do have a library, yeah.
So she would ask that, get that, and afterwards we can lock the door, we can shut it up, because honestly, Alice will highly doubt she will sleep.
Okay, so what are you reading? Agatha Christie?
Yeah, or something really...
Yeah.
Whatever
one
is
of the queens
available.
Of crime, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but Dottie does go to sleep, and you do know that she usually sleeps really well. She's somebody who can shut things out. You read.
Yep.
Do you not try to get any sleep at all? Do you actually try to stay awake? Do you consciously try to stay awake?
Not consciously. I think if she's really getting tired, she will try to sleep. I'm not sure she can. Because I think in her mind it's really she's just working through it, and what else and why and what could it be, what are we missing? Because based on what she found so far, she does not have the feeling that whatever they found in the diary or notes will not be really helpful, because they haven't found anything that is really helpful so far. So she's thinking about, did we miss anything, or did I not see something? So she's in that kind of loop.
Okay. So I leave it up to you. If you sleep at all, if you want to, you can also make a power check.
Let's make a con
check.
And see if she falls asleep over her book or not. Let's use you guys. Let's see. Please be better than the other two rolls. That's a 12. She is doing fine. She's not falling asleep. She's just staying awake.
Okay. At some point tomorrow in the morning, you basically then get up, and so does Dottie, and you go down for breakfast, and you meet Takane, who's basically sitting there already, and she's basically made sure that you have like a nice corner to yourselves, not within earshot of other guests, and you can have a really lovely breakfast. And she basically just says that she went to meet with her employer and has left a message, and she is now fully informed of what has happened. And then she says, "So what are the plans today?"
I'm curious when the police will do anything. We need our stuff. So after breakfast, we will see what the hotel says, if they have information what will happen. Or did he say anything to you yesterday?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
But I assume that they will give you access to your room. They will probably ask you not to stay in the room, but to stay in your new room, but they will definitely give you access to your things. Because,
but I want my stuff.
No, they will move it for
That's
you.
the thing.
Yeah. So we can talk to them now.
The police
after
needs
breakfast.
Yeah, the thing is, the police needs to say the room is fine.
Yeah.
To go. Because they haven't done much in the room so far. Well, maybe they suspect fingerprinting or anything like that.
Fingerprinting was a thing
you do here.
That is a good question. Was fingerprinting a thing in Japan?
In New York, for sure. I'm not sure how Japan was. Although during that time they were also Western oriented. I could imagine they would.
Let me check when fingerprinting was introduced in Japan.
Because they're working with the European or Western military and they know stuff. I could imagine. Is that something you can find online? That is a good question.
Pretty sure. You find the weirdest stuff online.
That's true.
I do believe that this is available. When
was fingerprint used in crimes in Japan? From when on? Since when? Oh, the usual Google search in games. It's so fun, and Google is so disturbed by it every time.
Oh, actually, not until 1946.
Oh, so no. They only would have looked for, I don't know.
No, I lie. Fingerprinting was introduced into law enforcement in the Empire of Japan during the first 2 decades of the 20th century. From the mid-1920s, we're in the 1930s.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was...
Okay.
Always read the whole thing and don't go for the AI thing, because there is something about 1946, but that's... Yeah. No, it's been around for at least 10 years.
Then I would suspect at least the police taking fingerprints, at least around the door, maybe also around where we tell them where the diaries were that went missing.
So when you get back to your old rooms, you notice and you've seen it before, those very characteristic, like, they leave the powder behind.
Yeah.
So it's stained, like you said, on the doorknob, on the handle, on the lock, on the door itself, because sometimes people just put their hands or their fingers against the door when they open it, like when you do it like this, kind of like pushing at the same time to be quiet. In your room, everywhere, every surface has been dusted, and also, of course, the all of the wardrobe doors, because they might have opened them, even if they shut them afterwards. And there is now a police officer, and Tanaka and Akane speaks with him, and he basically bows, and she says, well, he says, you can take your things. He's just here to keep an eye on things, but you are happy. You can take your stuff. You can also use your suitcases and pack. But yeah, you can walk around freely. They have, well, I guess we would say they have done the CSI stuff.
Well, the question is, what does the police need from us? They would for sure need our fingerprints
They would
to
need your
rule
fingerprints, but
out
at the
which are
moment they're like
ours.
they're being very Japanese now. They don't know how to put this to you. So yeah, you're right. So do you offer?
We would offer to Arcana just to ask whatever they need to make this help. Maybe like our fingerprints, so they know which ones are not
He gives you
worth
a
anything.
wide smile. He's very happy that you introduced this idea.
And if
So
they have
then he
any
doesn't need to broach the
questions,
subject.
they are free to contact us. We are willing to help as best as we can.
Basically, she says that he would ask one of his colleagues to come by, maybe in an hour, to take your fingerprints and take your statement.
That would be lovely. We will give him the room number from the new room, because we will then be there. And well, if he says it's okay, we will start to pack our stuff, because the next meeting is lunch with the colonel, and Alice would do that alone.
Okay.
Because that is not a discussion for, well, yeah, talking with 3 people. It's quite discreet to get lists from the military.
Okay. Okay, so basically you pack your stuff. And then Dottie says, if you're going to lunch alone, then that's fine, because then I will just take the time to unpack.
Okay. Or grab some lunch or room service.
I will grab some
room
lunch,
service.
but I can, yeah, but then I can unpack in peace and quiet.
That's true.
Yeah. And then the police come. So basically they have like a laboratory person who takes your fingerprints, and then an officer who basically then asks, when did you arrive in Japan? Have you met anyone? Are you here on business? Are you here on tourism? Do you have any idea who would be trying to break into your private, basically take away your private notes? Also, are you engaged in, let's say, some kind of how shall I put it? Do you work in science, for example, where those scientific notes, that kind of thing? He's interested in that. What do you say?
So Alice will clearly give information when they arrive, that she's here. Well, she arrived with a little bit of business, but that is done. She would tell the truth, also mentioning the Tanakas for sure, just because that is nothing to lie about.
Yeah.
And that they're here as being a tourist thingy, and at the same time also learning more and finding out more about culture. That's why they're planning to go on the nice trip that is coming up. She will give that information as well. Also, just to make sure that the police is aware that they will leave the town not too far in the future.
Yeah. Then he asks,
but they have no idea, or at least Alice clearly doesn't even have to lie. She has no idea who would steal the notes and why, because the notes are just travel memories. It's
so it's a travel diary.
It's a travel diary.
He tries to confirm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So somebody stole your travel log, but you say you haven't been anywhere outside of Tokyo so far. You arrived in Yokohama and then
to Tokyo, and the notes are all about what we've seen, what we've encountered, which museums we've been to, lists of plans, what else we have to see.
All right. So then he asks Dottie the same things. Dottie basically replies, and obviously she says exactly the same things. She says that she's that she's not here on business, never was here on business, because obviously it's your family and your parents or your father who is doing business with the Tanaka family. But so that part she wasn't involved in at all. And then basically what she's hoping to see, what she had in her diary, which isn't that very different from what you had in your diary. She also says that she had basically scrapbooked some information from guidebooks and put them into her diary and basically glued them in. And so it didn't just contain her own handwritten notes, but it also contained information that she had taken out of books.
Yeah. We would also give a description on how the notebooks are looking.
Yeah.
So in case they find them, that they can understand how and which they are. For sure, we would not tell anything about our job here.
No, you're tourists.
We are tourists.
He can tell that you are rich, so you don't need a job.
Yeah, especially with the wing to Daddy sent me to make a little bit of business, but now Daddy is paying.
Yeah.
Which technically he probably is, at least like 99%.
Well, I would say that he probably financed the trip, so basically the boat, the journey, because obviously you are doing him a great favor because, you know, you did take some important documents with you.
But Alice's money in sum is a lot of Daddy's money. So.
Yeah. So, yeah, I do think that he is paying.
Yeah. He's paying.
One way or another, either directly or indirectly, because
it's
you
mostly
have a trust fund.
True. And I'm using it well. I'm also, I think, quite smart in investing things and getting money back in, but the kickoff basically and the base of it is
and you have this really old solicitor who, you know, is still around. He's the one who bought the house on your behalf and blah blah blah, so he would also advise you, and he would be kind of like, because he's been doing your family's finances since before forever.
And that would be, money would be also something she would talk about with her dad, just to discuss. And I heard a thing, what do you think about investing, things like that. And so that's all we can tell them. And also clearly telling them that we were out, we came back at this time, and before we left everything was fine, we didn't see anything during the day, and when we came back,
and then he confirms again that Tanaka, now it's caught me as well, that Ms. Minami was with you all evening, and that basically she had taken you to a traditional restaurant with, you know, like a show, as it were. And so he basically just takes notes, and, you know, when she tells him the name of the restaurant, he nods, and, you know, he knows this, and he knows it's a Japanese place and not really a touristy place. So he kind of, you get a feeling that he nods in appreciation that she would take you there. And then he basically bows, and then he apologizes in officially on behalf of the Tokyo police force that this has happened to you and it's all terrible and blah. So he's being very Japanese about it. It's also not the same person you spoke with or she spoke with last night. So it's now, maybe this is now the criminal police, or maybe this is a higher up.
It might be higher up. Alice will be very thankful for the help and support, and in case they need anything or have questions, they are free to contact us. We are, as we said, open to help wherever we can. Okay.
So, I mean, this procedure has taken, I mean, you probably went for dinner, for breakfast at around 9, maybe 8:30, 9. So then you had breakfast 10 o'clock, took them 1 hour to bring the guys in to do your fingerprinting. So it would have been 11. So now it's easily 12:15, because the talking and the, you know, like taking down the notes, noting down what you had said, taking your fingerprints as well, that did take a good while, because he was really meticulous with the questions. You know, he really wanted to know a lot, and so, you know, and he had to question 3 different people, one after the other. So it's now 12:15. In the meantime, basically Dottie will then start packing.
Alice will help packing as long as she can. She's meeting up for lunch 1:15, so until at least 1 o'clock she will help. She will put things together.
And then
probably Dottie may get a little heart attack how Alice is packing, but it's just for short. Moving over
74, she is kind of, she basically at some point just grabs the stuff out of your hand and says, "Why don't you go and freshen up for lunch while I do,
I can do this.
I want to do it properly.
It's just to move it over to the next
I will not
It's
have a
not that
discussion.
we will
I
travel
will not
with
have
it.
any discussion.
It's insane to put everything.
Alice, shoo shoo, freshen up. You're meeting the Colonel.
I am fresh enough for the Colonel. Alice will move over to things that are easily to pack, like books and things like that are easy to put in a box.
Yeah.
Not to get problems because, yeah.
The socks weren't properly folded.
Yeah, and also I think the dress and clothing she would just have rolled up and put it because it's a short trip. It's not
another sanity
it's
check.
not effective to do this.
Okay, you see that she's getting
for
out
just transporting to the next room.
She just got out the bottle and she took a sip of whiskey and she rolled a 17.
So the only thing Alice is allowed to put on hangers and hang them, that is something Alice can do because she does it properly.
Yeah, and then she takes them off the hangers and she puts them properly into the bags and into the kind of like the coat. Yeah. She just shakes her head.
I will stick to books.
Yes, Alice, that's a really good idea. Just stick to books.
And things like, okay. We will get the time around, and for lunch, Alice will leave, remind Dottie that Dottie should get lunch either down there or room service, whatever she thinks, and we will meet up afterwards here again.
So you go to the restaurant, and
You are hearing things.
Yeah, I have tinnitus.
I hope not.
No, I mean, no, it's not the real. I really just had a really weird noise in my right ear. No, it's gone now. Good.
Weird?
No, like this. It was like a hissing noise, and it didn't come from the. It wasn't the. It didn't come from the headphones. It was in my ear.
Weird.
It's like, yeah. Okay, so basically you go for lunch. So you go to the restaurant, and of course, the Colonel is already there. He has been watching the door, as it were, and then when he sees you, he gets up. He basically does the clicking of the heels thing, and he bows.
I'm curious.
It's like Sergeant Updike bowing at the waist.
Alice will give him a nod, and we'll walk over to him to whatever table we have then, or we get, and
he holds the chair for you. He waits for you to be seated, and then he sits down. I mean, he is old school. He's like super old school.
I think Alice will enjoy that. She will indulge it without problems because for her it's easy and for him it's important. So, and I think Alice will drink a bit of water just in peace and quiet because she is curious if he already knows about what happened. Because someone broke into the room, the police is there. That will be talk in the hotel.
Okay.
And he's an important figure.
Yeah, he's attached. He's a military attaché.
So Alice would be a little bit like waiting for him to open.
He opens one thing, and that's the menu. And then he says, and he's basically doing the English thing. He's not looking at you. He's looking at the menu, and he said, well, I hear that you had a spot of trouble last night, didn't you?
You could call it like that. This doesn't seem to be the safest place in Tokyo.
Well, it was until last night, wasn't it? It's very interesting and very curious why somebody would looking at all of the rooms and all of the important information that is stored in the rooms. He keeps looking at the menu, basically, like I now have the scallops and stuff. That somebody who should break into your room of all places.
And steal our travel diary and nothing else.
And that too, considering that, and he takes a look, and are you wearing jewelry at the moment?
Probably just earrings and maybe a very slim necklace, because I am still wearing the dress that we got last night in the boutique, and
Yeah.
it's very, very.
But when you were at the function, at the reception, were you wearing jewelry?
We wore. Did we wear kimonos or
No.
did we wear westerns? We did westerns.
Yeah,
yes,
but it was kind of
yes,
like
for sure.
you were wearing an evening gown. Okay.
I would have, although Alice is not the one who has like the $1 million necklace.
So you're not
she
like
has
your
a
mother.
few. No, she has a few nice pieces that if you know they're well done and probably expensive, but not too in the face.
Would you have worn one of those pieces?
Yes, for sure. So at the moment not, but for the
But at the reception,
he knows that
Okay.
Alice has money.
Okay, so
Or
basically,
comes from money.
yeah, and not only that you come from money, but that you have some
Yes.
money with you. And
Yes.
he was like,
Yes.
yeah, and considering what else you would have had in your room, because I'm not sure, I don't think you would wear this every evening. It's curious that these things remain intact and in place.
Yes, and it was openly available. The jewelry box was right on my night.
So how do you explain that?
I don't have an explanation, except the one thing that I am here to ask you, if you can help us to get it.
He also takes a sip of water. I'm listening.
You know that I'm taking interest in the expedition that will happen, that the prince is financing, because Dottie and I will be part of that expedition.
Well, you know.
Mm-hmm. What we also know clearly, both of us, is that the prince...
Ah, there's the soup.
Oh, Alice will wait. As soon as someone officially comes in with, it will be like, we will just patiently wait until they leave and then talk again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you basically, I mean, this is how this works. They don't bring you 2 plates of soup, but they have like the terrine.
Yeah, and they will fill up and then they will leave again.
Yeah.
And you know as well that the prince, with some staff, was on that island before, more by accident, because the submarine basically not function as it should.
And to this day, I really wonder why it didn't function. Because the United States Navy would not hand over a German U-boat unless they had checked it over completely.
Also, you can say a lot of bad things about Germans, but at least usually the products are...
The engineering departments are really good, and I've always had the highest respect for their military. So
we yesterday talked to someone who was on that ship. Didn't we even get the name for the first mate we got from him, didn't we?
Basically, he knows that what you just... But I mean, it's important to preface it, because otherwise it would be a bit weird, because you're trying to get something from him.
Yeah, but just to remind him, we talked to him.
And what did he say?
Well, nothing, basically.
He said nothing. That is very rude.
Well, he said nothing of use.
All right.
Yes, so they were there. Yes, they took a break. Well, it's an island with not a lot of people, but some monkeys, and that was mainly it. And then they left again. That's all he said. I'm not sure if that talk triggered something or someone in a way that we did not think of what would happen. So my question would be, there must be a list of people who were on that submarine. For sure.
Of course. I completely agree. There must have been.
The question is if you have any chance on getting your hand on the names of the people. Clearly not the prince, because just walking up to the prince asking him is not the option. But
and we also know that he was on the boat.
Yeah, well, but the question is who else was on there, and we will have a little nosy around who would be willing to talk to us. Also because I want to have some heads up what we'll see when we are there. Because everything we hear so far is quite boring and useless.
Make a persuade check or fast talk.
Let's see, what is better? Fast talk or persuade is definitely better. Nope, not even close. 78. Far off.
You see, Miss Baker, this is actually something that I would have been able to do if things were different with the prince. However, as I have said, war changes people.
Yeah.
And he was changed in a way that I find today is very hard for me to relate to. I'm pretty sure that there are lists and that the manifest of that voyage is still available, but it's in the archives. And unfortunately, I have no access to those. And there is not really a way for me to get access without trying to break in, which
is not the option.
Is something that I cannot do. However, if you knew somebody on the inside of the palace, the veal. Next course.
Yes.
If you knew somebody on the inside, you might want to ask them.
That is always an option, yes.
The only thing that I can say is I completely agree with you that what happened last night has something to do with what you are endeavoring.
Because if not, they would have stolen also at least the jewelry and the things that were openly.
And the fact that they didn't even try to do it to disguise their true intent means that maybe they weren't thinking as clearly as they thought they were. Because now it's left open to speculation who it might be and what they wanted. It would be easier to go in and just grab the stuff that I want and then grab other things that other people would consider valuable and, and in this case are even objectively valuable to hide my tracks.
That is true. So how is your information on how the police is here? Are they understaffed? Are they doing fine? Is this something where even can...
Let me put it this way. The United States, and especially New York, has a mafia problem. And the mob is...
You don't say.
Well, it's running riot. And it's running rings around the cops. For sure. And why is that so? Because they know that they won't get caught. Here in Japan, every criminal knows that they will get caught. And I'm not saying this because somebody is falsifying figures. There isn't... If a crime gets committed, there's a 99% chance that the culprit will be found. And the culprits know this.
I'm just curious.
About the Yakuza?
Yeah, since when? They are already around.
They are
very actively.
Yeah.
But that would not be common knowledge during that time, for sure. That would be something more now, since it's showing up in movies and books and so on. I don't think it was knowledge then, was it?
I mean, it's interesting because it's one of the ones that is like, that goes back to Shogun times. It's really
they are
old.
Around for a long time.
Yeah.
But they are operating more.
And I think that they are
a lot of Japanese people will know, but foreigners, I don't think so.
Yeah. And I think that the point is also that they were like, I mean, the American mafia or the Italian mafia in the United States in the 30s and 40s, they were very much in everybody's faces. I mean, they were
They did
gunning
not
each
hide.
other down and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Whereas I always felt that the Yakuza, or what I read, was more like they are the
Discreet in
real
the back.
underground.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they are so deep underground.
The police know, but they can't really do anything against it.
But again, the thing is that that secrecy is basically their currency. The fact that nobody knows that they exist makes it possible for them to infiltrate everything. However, of course, even back then, they were the ones who were always tattooed. So that would have been something that stood out. And you would, I mean, you would always be very wary if you saw somebody who had a missing finger. So that would have been like, But I think...
For sure not.
Because I also sometimes get the impression that it's more like Japan was never really proud of having Yakuza and talking about it. Oh, we've got those crime gangs. So it's kind of like...
The only thing I'm thinking about during that time, sailors and so on came in that had tattoos. That's the only point where you could stumble over this topic that, oh, you're wearing a tattoo. This is something that you will have problems going to bathhouse or something like that. It's nothing that Alice would have a problem with.
Yeah.
But...
And
I think that would be the only point where you could stumble over the topic.
Yeah.
Because tattoos during that time already were a big thing, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, they were... I mean, tattoos have been around for a very long time. And I think, like you said, sailors have basically...
Also military.
Yeah, I mean, even in Sherlock Holmes, they're talking about people with tattoos and stuff. So yeah. But they have like whole body tattoos. Like they look like anime books. Like
as
manga.
I say, the main thing would be when you stumble over, you want to go in a bathhouse as a Western sailor. They will say no, just out of fear that you could be, or something like that.
I mean, there is.
It's still today. It's still today.
Absolutely,
in a lot of places.
Yeah, yeah. That is. They even have a. They even have a picture here of an 1870s full body tattoo. They're not saying that these people are Yakuza, but they're saying that this is what they would have looked like, what the tattoos would have looked like. So basically, they would have had like tattoos all over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And apparently the way they do it even today is different. They don't use... I've never been tattooed, but apparently it's like it's a machine that needles you, whereas they do it by hand. They basically...
Oh, what I know also from like the Maori and so on, they partly do it as well. It's like the old ways before the machines were invented. Yeah,
but apparently they still do it today like this. So I'm sure that must hurt.
It sounds horrific.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, but I think that they probably... I mean, having said this, this whole thing about the crime rate being low or people getting caught is actually true for Japan. Having said this, with the exception of the Yakuza, because they never got on top of them. So basically...
Yeah, it's but everything else. But generally, okay, then Alice would not raise an eyebrow because she would not know about... They have their own little mafia problem.
Having said this, please roll on your Japanologica. Because you may have come across it. Because you are interested in crime and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Or also about if you want to go to a bathhouse, please be aware of not having...
And also, I think it's a little bit like the mafia in Italy. If you're a tourist, you will not see them because they are actually interested in making people feel okay with being there because tourism is important. It's more if you live there and you have a business that you need to worry about. So...
I rolled a 14, which is a hard success. So
you do know about the Yakuza.
I would have read. So with his mentioning about the mafia, Alice would just raise an eyebrow and would be like, It's not that you don't have it here. It's just different.
On a 41, he also knows about it because he has lived here all his life, but he raises an eyebrow and he raises an eyebrow back and he says, "Oh, I should have learned by now never to underestimate a beautiful lady."
Well, I'm a private investigator. Crime is generally my interest. I'm not here for work, technically, but kind of surprisingly, this is my second case, but hey.
So then let me rephrase. Your, let's say, everyday robber, thief, etc.
Would not have done. I'm with you. They wanted to know what we found out.
Yeah, would normally be caught. And the crime rate is very low. It's the way it's the way this country ticks. Organized crime is a completely different kettle of fish.
I don't think this is organized crime, because
organized crime, the criminals are usually the Yakuza who would be sent to perform something like that wouldn't make a stupid mistake. They would have taken your jewelry just to ensure that it looks like a robbery.
Also, our case is, I don't think, interesting for them because it's not about money.
Because there is no money in there. You're right. Yeah. Also, no land.
You know, information is power as well. But the information we have will not give them any kind of power that is useful.
Yeah. So
honestly, the information we gained so far is quite boring because you can look them up. Actually, I would say whoever stole our notes is just a lazy person because they didn't look for themselves, because there's nothing secret in there. That's official public information.
Yeah, I still think that they may have done it because they wanted to know what you know.
They could have just asked.
Maybe they thought it was unusual for somebody to just approach you and ask you, "Tell me all you know."
True. We wouldn't have said anything anyhow, but yeah, this at least makes me worrying more about the royal family.
How so?
Well, the prince is with 2 feet in all of this.
Oh, you mean a scandal, of course. That would be terrible.
Definitely.
He's the uncle of a living god, after all.
So, well, I just hope there are not more things that will be stolen.
Well, I really understand why you have been tasked with looking into this, because you have a certain delicacy about you. You understand the intricate and interwoven strands of society and royalty, although you're not even from a country that recognizes royalty.
I could tell you there's a different reason, but that is for another.
Oh, there's dessert.
Also, it's always good to be a woman because I'm always underestimated. It would make life so much easier.
Yeah, like I said, I should have learned by now. And then you have dessert, you have coffee, and then he gets up. And he bows, and he helps
Alice
you with the chair.
Over to small talk to make an easy out.
Yeah.
And then...
I mean, he's English, so he will be talking about the weather.
Yeah, maybe also, I think Alice would be just curiously what is happening in Europe at the moment, politics-wise, what he's getting from like his home country, what is happening there, but just what you can find in the news. So easy peasy.
You talk about Europe, and and it's a really pleasant discussion that you have, and and then when it's over, he basically like he helps you with the chair as it should be done, and then he extends his arm to basically yeah, I always find it difficult. Is it helping or leading someone out of a? Why would the gentleman lead the lady? But obviously, that's how this works. You have to do it. And then he bows again, and then he says, I'm sure we will meet again.
For sure. Have a lovely afternoon. Thank you so much.
You too. You too. Okay, so what do? Because he now obviously goes back to his office.
Go up to Miss Minami's room. I'll do a little like knock knock on the door.
Okay,
she's there.
Let's see if she's there. In 89, she's actually not in, because that's higher than your luck.
Then I'll go to my suite. I will write a note that we need to talk. She should peek in whenever she is back, and would push it on the door, basically. Yeah. That if she enters, she can see it, and then unpack.
Well, no, there is nothing to unpack because Dottie has
rearrange.
As you're doing this, Dottie says, "Oh yeah, I see you're back. So I'm now going to get some room service." And she basically selects something from the menu, rings down, and then she gets the food and she says, "It's all where it should be. There is no reason to rearrange, but please feel free."
I will do it just to annoy her a little bit, and then I'll put myself next to her and will tell her just basically what the colonel told me, which is not much. And that I left a message for Miss Minami that she should peek in whenever she returns, because we need to go via the royal family. We will not get the information who was there on our own.
Okay. Well, then let's hope that she can help.
Well, if she can't, we will never get our hands on the list, because breaking in is not an option.
No, because that would get us deported. Or maybe shot first and then deported.
Well, they would deport our bodies, probably. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they will just throw us in the ocean.
I doubt that. That would be very uncivilized.
But there's no way we can discreetly go.
I was just making a joke. I wasn't even dreaming. I mean, seriously, we shouldn't even dream of trying to commit a crime in this country, let alone and especially not anything to do with the imperial family. Because if we were to break in to the army staff offices, which are part of the imperial palace, that wouldn't go down well, Alice. That wouldn't go down well at all.
But it was an option.
Yes, but what does Sherlock Holmes say? You have to eliminate everything that's impossible, and what remains, however improbable, is the truth. This is impossible.
Probably. It's not worth it, to be honest. I think that's more my point. It might be possible, but
however you want to formulate it to make it sound good in your ears is fine with me. Let's just put it this way. It's impossible.
Let's rephrase. We will not do it.
Very good. At that moment, her food arrives. She tucks in. She's hungry. And she says, so, how was your lunch?
Alice would have ordered herself a coffee.
Yeah.
As well, and yeah, as she would give Dottie a short summary, basically clearly that the colonel heard about that there was a break-in, that it's very bizarre to him as well, that he cannot give us access to the list because he has not access to it. And from his point of view, only someone within the royal family would be able to get it.
Well, it's a good thing that we know somebody on the inside.
Yes.
So we're just waiting for Takana to show up.
I think so. Tomorrow we have the meeting with the professor, and honestly, I don't feel like going out today. Not sure how you think, but...
Oh, I'm good. I don't need to go out. I mean, it's a lovely room, isn't it? It's a lovely suite. I've just had some really nice lunch. We could just take it easy for the rest of the day.
Because I'm quite sure Alice will be yawning by now.
But you haven't been sleeping at all.
I haven't been sleeping at all, so Alice is definitely like... It feels like I partied all night.
That was a very quiet party then, because I didn't hear a thing.
Well, I read through a whole book.
Some people would consider it a party.
At least I was asleep last night, so I think without the list I have no other idea.
So then why not just wait, and you can lie down. And she points to the chaise longue. She's sitting at the little table because obviously she's not eating on her knees. And because I have a couple of things that I would like to do. So I'm gonna go to the library and I'm gonna be back real soon. I just want to take out a couple of books.
Oh, can you bring my book back?
Yeah, would you like another one?
No, I have my own books, thank you.
Okay. Then she takes it and she leaves, and she's basically, gone for half an hour or so. She gets back and she has a couple of actually she's got a couple of newspapers. And she says,
when she's back, Alice will be snoring
Okay.
on the couch for sure.
Okay, so basically she's reading. So then please make a listen roll.
No, I'm rolling good. That is a hard success.
Okay, that's very good, because you hear a at the door. You wake up.
I will open my eye, just yawning.
Just stay where you are. I'm gonna see who it is. Hopefully it's Takane. She opens the door and it is Takane. She says, "Oh, Ms. Minami, please step inside." And she says, "Would you like to please take a seat? Would you like to eat something?" Ms. Baker has taken a nap.
Well, I'm awake now. Come in.
And she basically then orders coffee for everybody. And then Takane sits and she says, "Well, I got your note. What can I do for you?"
Well, for the list, or in regards to the list of who was on that submarine, the only way to get it is via someone within the royal family.
I see.
So, as sad as I am that we have to bug my lady, but I think she's the only
All right, so
way.
let me get this straight. She gets out a note. I mean, she's a little bit like Dottie. A notebook appears out of nowhere in her hand. How do they do that anyway? And then she says, "Okay, so we're basically looking for everybody who was on board of this particular U-boat when it..."
Who was the crew when it was
exactly.
moved,
So
basically.
who was the crew? Yes. And where are they now?
And well, best case, where are they now? And if there are any information on what happened and why it broke down, clearly it would be interesting to have as well.
I will see what I can do.
List who was on the submarine.
Yes, I will be able to at least get you the names. I'm absolutely sure of that. With regard to what happened, I don't know if this information even exists.
I suspect
if it was anything,
they would have at least documented what mechanically was the reason for breaking down. That might be documented, because they would want to know what was wrong.
What I wanted to say is, and she continues, if we know what happened, depends on what did happen. Did they actually record it, or did they just say, if it was something untoward, it could be that that we will never find out because they didn't record it, if you know what I mean. It may be that they just said engine failure, if you get my drift.
It might be, but at least I would be curious what was in the official papers, because something must be there.
I will see if I can get that. I think it won't be a problem to get the manifest with the list of people. The reason being, they would have been members of the Imperial Marine, of the Imperial Navy, and of course they would, either receive a pension, and if they are no longer alive, their families would receive the pension. And if they are still alive and still working, we would find out where they are, because they would still be entitled to a pension. So at least we would know their whereabouts.
Yeah. Get in contact.
Oh God. So she says, okay, I will take care of this. You can expect a report this evening.
Thank you so much. The only other thing is then our after lunch date with the professor tomorrow.
Very good. So then, when will you be taking your dinner?
We haven't decided yet. We will know. We will take it here later on. Should we just meet up whenever you think it would fit?
Yes, I will let you know when I'm back.
Thank you so much.
All right. So she takes her leave, and then do you want to do anything, or do we want to jump forward in time?
Alice would just go down, see if main contact from the hotel staff is there, because she would point out that her notebook clearly was stolen, and if the hotel has any means of replacing it, which would be really, really lovely.
Of course, madam. Why don't you go to the boutique and just select a couple of notebooks that would suit you?
Thank you. Alice would do that. She would get one nice one for herself and one nice one for Dottie. And then she would go back upstairs and would hand it out to Dottie. I hope this is a worthy replacement.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you. Great.
Because I am sure they left the pens because it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Alice would start taking notes again. She would make a summary of everything that she remembers from part 1, basically. So, history.
Yep.
And then part 2, what is happening now. But she would definitely use some kind of code that it's not easy to read.
Okay. Then make an intelligence roll to see how well you encode your information, because I don't think you have cryptography or anything like that.
No, I don't. Okay. I don't. I rolled an 8.
That's really good.
It's a
critical success, isn't it?
So easy going.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Alice is using something that she used as a child. Really stupid.
I believe it's probably better to use your own code, because all of the kind of like known codes have been so well documented.
Yeah.
Okay, so you encode your information, and then, I don't know, maybe 2 hours later, there's another knock on the door.
I will pick who it is.
It is Takane.
Oh, that was quick.
Well, needs must. So, she steps inside and she says, well, it's rather interesting. So in total, there were 6 people on board besides the prince. 3 of them still work for the prince, which is very interesting because they were normal sailors.
Okay.
But they now work in the royal household and are attached to his house.
He wants to keep them close, obviously. Or he's very thankful for what they did there. We don't know.
Both are possible. 2 have died. And the pensions are now being paid out to their families. Okay. There is also a record of where they were buried. And as far as I can tell, it's genuine. They did die. And then there is one more. And he's the really interesting person. His name is Yumeji Takehisa. I'm going to put the name in the chat.
The first mate we talked to, is he part of the 3 who are still working for the prince? Because
No, he's in addition to.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yumeji Takehisa.
Oh god, I would have written that so wrong. Yumeji.
And he was the navigator on board the vessel. And he, for all intents and purposes, went crazy. They couldn't keep him on in the Navy. He had a nervous breakdown, or that's what it's described as. And then he left. But I know where he lives because he's still getting his pension. He lives in a hotel. In Hongo, here in Tokyo. And it's the Kikufuchi Hotel, which I'm also going to put into the Kikufuchi Hotel.
That one I wrote correctly.
And he's now a painter.
He's a painter.
And he seems to be really ill. Like, really ill. I have looked at his medical records, which are available. He was discharged because not only did he have a nervous breakdown, but it seems like he's hearing voices and other things which have led to a psychiatric or several psychiatrically treated episodes. And then he basically discharged himself from the army hospital and Navy hospital, never returned. He left an address for the money. And of course, we have been paying. But that's all I know.
So he's definitely good lead. The other options are the two that died. Maybe they told something to the family. Because the three that are still working for the prince will not say a single word. Either of being afraid or because they're really, really, really loyal. Either way, they won't say a thing.
And I mean, it is a very, very weird thing. Everything, all told, it's very weird. Because there is no history of psychotic breakdowns in his life. You know, it's not like.
The question is, did it happen due to what he's seen in war, or did it happen due to what he's?
He never saw any action, actually.
But why was he?
They salvaged. Okay, so basically, OT. What happened was, it wasn't the Japanese Navy that caught.
I know, but if he was a navigator, I would have suspected. But he was part of the military.
Yeah, but they didn't get the. He's super young, so he's like younger than you are, so they didn't get the U-boat during the war. They got it like in 1925. So.
And it moving over to Tokyo should have been an easygoing thing because it's more a formal thing. There is no war,
and it was after the war,
so
he was still kind of like, he didn't see any action, so he was
so it was
possibly
right after training, more or less fresh from. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a question if we. I think now it might be too late to visit because it would, especially if he's ill.
Well, I mean, ill means he was, I mean, I don't know. He lives in a hotel and he paints. So if he is an artist, he could be working at all hours. So I think you could still at least go there.
Or we go tomorrow morning.
Or we go tomorrow morning.
Let's go tomorrow morning before we go then to visit the professor.
I
Thank you
mean, the
so
other
much
thing
for
is,
getting the information.
excuse me?
Thank you for getting
Oh,
the
sorry. Yeah.
information.
No, I didn't hear you.
I know. Yep.
Oh, you're very welcome. So here are the addresses and names of the families of the two deceased seamen. And here is the address of the hotel.
Then it's a question if you are open and up for a morning visit at the hotel, and then afterwards we grab hopefully a little lunch and then visiting the professor and see what he says, because he will not give us any information for sure.
Absolutely. Breakfast at 8.
Yeah.
I will see you then. And she takes a leave and walks out.
I think we will arrange to get dinner at the hotel.
Yeah.
Because I could imagine in the evening they're also having like a little bit of
yes.
music or band or something
They
playing
do.
as well.
They do.
So we would just enjoy that. And then we would just wait for the next day. And meet for breakfast and then leave together to visit the Kikofuji Hotel.
Do you want to do anything, or shall we just jump to the next morning?
If nothing will happen, I think for Alice and Dottie it will be just have a nice relaxing
Nothing happens.
Evening, just enjoying dinner and the music, early bedtime.
Yeah.
And that's it. At least I can't think of anything else Alice would do.
Okay, so the next morning you wake up, you have breakfast, you meet Takane for breakfast, everything's fine. She says it would be easiest if you took a cab, because it is kind of a little bit of a trip, because even back then Tokyo was very large. And you make your way to Hongo. And you go to the Kikofuji Hotel.
Yep.
Now, the Kikofuji Hotel is a 3-story Western-style hotel, which was built in 1914 for the Taisho Expo, and because there was the World Expo and people from all over the globe basically went, and so it was built specifically to attract, or to be good for, to be basically available for European or Western tourists. And so it's got about 50 bedrooms, and you can actually, if you want to research it, because it would be in the guidebooks, because you can go there as a tourist as well.
Yep.
And it's basically interesting because while it's by no means as grand as the Imperial Palace Hotel, it is quite well appointed. So, for example, about 25 guest rooms are en suite and have which would be a luxury, and only the other 25 have like communal bathing facilities and stuff. And it survived the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake, and after that it was converted to a boarding house. And so basically it's now a place where artists and itinerant foreign intellectuals go. So it's like a little bit like those places in Paris where people, it's just like that. And it is owned and operated by the Haneda family. They are married with children, and they actually have 10 children. Between the two of them. Okay, so I'm not sure if they have them with each other, but they have 10 children.
Yep.
And yeah, so that's the information that you can glean about this place.
Then,
so you go there. And as
Yes.
you enter into the, basically there's a reception area and there's a reception desk. And behind it you see a Japanese woman in a kimono with the normal hairdo. And she says, "Konnichiwa."
Konnichiwa. And I would just assume that she's not speaking English, so I would just look over to Miss Minami if she could just ask if
Yes, she looks at you and she
Mr.
nods
Takahisa
to
is
you
there
to
and we can talk to
basically say to go ahead so that she can translate what you want.
just to ask if Jimiji Takahisa is there and if we can talk to her and where we can find her.
She looks you up and down and she replies something and Takane says, yes, Mr. Takahisa is in. He's in room 40. But she doesn't know if she will see any visitors. She will inquire. And who should she say is calling?
Alice will give her name, Alice Baker.
She nods. And then she goes away and she comes back.
Wait, before she goes, I think Alice would add that she's an art collector.
All right.
From New York City.
Okay. So she comes back. Actually, 15 minutes. It's not a short visit that she pays to Mr. Takahisa. And then she says, basically, do you have a visiting card? A calling card?
Alice has, but she will not give it out. She will say no because there's the New York City address on it and it would not help here. But she could write down her contact data of the hotel if it would help, if she would have a little card.
Make a psychology roll.
Okay. Psychology. That is a 6. That is a critical success.
You think that she wants you to give her money?
Oh. I will still ask her for a piece of paper.
She gives you a piece of paper.
And I will just ask Akane what amount of money would be decent, because I'm not sure Alice would have the feeling here if how many yen would be the right.
So she gives you a figure which is like a pittance, but you know.
And Alice would pull out her handbag also just to check the room number because we have a new one. She would write it down. Although she would not add the room number, just the hotel and the address. She would read it off a piece of paper, and then she would put a bit of money just discreetly under it and would push it over to her.
The lady behind the reception desk makes a great show of taking the piece of paper completely, kind of like, the money seems to disappear like nothing. And basically then reading out the name of the hotel aloud and nodding and then saying something. And then Takane says, yeah, we should follow her.
And a little bit of bowing, and then we will...
So it's actually on the 3rd floor that you need to go. And it's room number 40. And she takes you to it and then she knocks. And you see and you hear a woman's voice. And she opens the door and basically waves you inside. Inside, you see a Japanese woman in her 30s, completely naked, as she's standing there, being painted, obviously. She's modeling, it seems. And you see a big...
Is she the one that opened the door?
No, the lady of the house opened the door for you and basically waved you in.
Understood. Okay.
And now make a spot hidden.
Let's get off my dice. That is definitely normal success.
Okay, and then please make a Japanologica check, please, as well.
Right. Let's try with you. You are disqualified. You are the one that rolled 100, and you rolled crap again. No, far off of no.
Okay, that's fine.
That was
Okay.
an 89. That is too high for a dice set. I don't want to see that.
That's not acceptable. Okay.
You are out,
So
darlings.
basically, but your spot hidden was a normal success. So what you
Yes,
see
normal
obviously
success.
is you look around. So there's not only this lady standing there, but you can see paintings everywhere. And those paintings all show naked women. Or to be more precise, only one woman, namely this lady who's standing in front of you, in various, I mean, like she's walking in a sakura, you know, like setting. You know, she's lying down, she's in the bath. You know, basically she is his only model. It seems
she's his muse, obviously.
Actually, it reads here that she is his muse. Yeah. Yes, and you also see a huge easel. And there's a canvas on it, but you can't see who's behind the canvas because it's not facing you. But you can see two legs, and there's a person sitting there, and then you hear the woman say something, and which sounds like Yumeji. You can make out the name, and then something else, and then Yumeji. Apparently that's him, gets up, and he looks really. You were told that he wasn't that old because he had never seen action and stuff.
True.
This person looks old. He looks like he's easily 50. Gray hair, like almost white. Bags under his eyes, rings around his eyes, very gaunt. He looks so emaciated, like he doesn't really eat much. Whereas his muse looks normally fed. So it doesn't seem to be that they can't afford food. Maybe he's ill, or maybe he doesn't eat, or maybe both. And you can also see that he seems, and his skin is kind of like unhealthily. I mean, when I say his skin is gray, I don't mean that he looks like a gray alien, but it's like he looks unhealthy.
It's ashy unhealthy.
Yeah, ashy unhealthy. That is an excellent description. He looks ashy unhealthy. And he says something, and then Takane replies with hi, and she says, he was just wondering if you were the art collector.
Yes.
Can
you tell him thank you that he is taking a few minutes of his time?
She translates. In the meantime, the lady has stepped down from the pedestal because she was standing on some kind of elevated thingy, and put a gown on. She's now smoking a cigarette. You can also see that there are paintings of her smoking. And you also notice that some of the paintings only show her hands holding a cigarette holder. So it's like a really very detailed depiction just of her hands and nothing else, and the cigarette holder and then the smoke. And he's got very dirty hands because he's been working with oil paint, and he's basically he has one of those schmucks, kind of like, and you know a lot about painting. What you do notice is the whole place is kind of chaotic. The only thing that isn't chaotic is where he keeps his brushes, where he keeps paints, and he's got a palette.
The brushes are cleaned. It's properly taken care of.
Yeah, and you also smell this turpentine thingy of the cleaning agent that they would be using, or whatever it is a turpentine, whatever they use. And of course the oil paint, as far as I recall, actually smells.
Yeah. So just looking at the paintings from Alice's point of view, he knows what he's doing, right? He's basically a good painter.
Roll for art. Oh no, you want to know if he's good.
Yeah, just looking at the
They're
paintings,
good.
just from technical point of view, it's
Yes.
not like he decided my new hobby is, and he barely knows how to hold a brush. He knows how to paint.
Yeah. He's got a very distinct style, you would say. But it is Japanese through and through. You can tell it's a Japanese type painting. You wouldn't say that this was influenced by Western art at all.
Yeah. I think I would ask Miss Minami if she could compliment him on his choice of content, what he is subject. Thank you. What he is drawing.
He bows deeply, and the lady who is now wearing a gown laughs, because obviously she is the subject.
Yeah.
So she takes
Alice
this as
will
a
give her
compliment.
a nice smile as well. And Alice would first start with basically always via Minami, clearly, just inquiring if he would be even willing to part with one of the paintings, because they all seem to be very personal to
him. He make a psychology roll, please.
Okay. Psychology, that is a normal success. 48.
You have the feeling that one of two options: either he's never even thought about selling, or he has tried and hasn't sold. So for him, this is almost like it seems like this is not an out of the world concept, or one could make money with art, but maybe he thinks, I can't make money with this art, if that makes sense.
Well, Alice would know this is something that is clearly not something you would hang in your living room, although in New York some people would hang it in the living room. But she could see, at least in traditional areas, this is clearly not the thing. I think Alice knows that this would sell in New York for sure.
Yeah.
So she would offer him, if she could buy like one or two paintings, she would bring them back to New York City and see how her friends would like them. And if so, her father has regularly ships going back and forth. We could see if he wants to sell a little bit more. And she honestly means that. It's not a red herring. That will be the entry, clearly. There will be more that she wants to ask, but she really means that. Because this is unusual. You will not find that on the New York City art market.
He looks around, and then he says something, and Takane says, which paintings would you consider?
Alice will take a round. She will look carefully at every painting. Not to randomly pick, but really have a look at it. She would take two paintings that are showing the full body, I'm quite sure. One smoking, and maybe one like in a bath. That might be a good one as well. Just pointing out those two after considering taking time and really looking at them.
Okay, so the one in the bath is actually a very interesting composition, because of course the lady isn't wearing anything, which you can tell, but you don't really see anything below basically this part of the a bit below the upper rib cage,
because then it's the water.
Exactly. And then you see the arm kind of like languidly placed, but what you also see is behind her, it seems like there is kind of like a linen cloth that's kind of gossamer, maybe made of not linen, silk, and there's kind of like a light source placed behind it, which he painted, and it looks very airy, it looks very light. It looks like the painting is, I'm not saying the painting is moving in terms of this is kind of like eerie, but it's got a lightness to it, like there's a breeze of the wind coming in. So that's what it looks like. And give me a spot hidden.
Normal success, 44.
Okay. What you do notice is, now that you've looked at all of them, everywhere, in every single painting, there are always 2 sakura petals. They're either floating or they're lying somewhere. They're very small and very kind of like placed in odd places. And they're basically floating, and they're on the surface of the water, and they're basically little ringlets around them, little wavelets. So it's there's a lot of motion in this one. And there's also a lot of motion in the other one. And again, it's always the lady who stands still, but it's her surroundings that move. If it's the smoke, if it's kind of like something else. So it's a weird, well, not weird in a weird sense, but it's an interesting composition.
And you say the sakura leaves are on every painting?
Yes. And only ever 2.
Then she would just turn around by Minami again, asking just the question, should we point out the specialty that links all your paintings, or should we let my friends explore it? With a smile.
Can you say the sentence again? Who are your friends? Like when you sell it in
New York, New Yorkers. So should I point out to the New York art community that the pictures are linked, or should we just wait who sees it?
He smiles. It's a genuine smile, and he walks over to his lady, and they hold hands and they look at each other in a really loving gaze. And then he says something, and she says, it's her name, Sakura.
Alice will just bow and be like, nice. I think nice to meet you would be probably a phrase she would know, even
yes, yeah, you've done more than your Baedeker.
So she would say that in her best Japanese that she has. And
the lady gets up and she bows and she replies, and you also understand the answer, because she just basically says, it's very nice to meet you too.
Alice feels bad turning the questionnaire around. No, first she would finish this deal to clarify what kind of money he would like to have, and if he has no idea how much he wants to have, she would.
He has no idea. 75. He genuinely doesn't know how to sell his work.
She will make a decent offer, which is a good price. It's not. It will not hang in the net. At least not in the beginning. Maybe later on, but Alice would pay something she would pay for a young artist that is unknown, but the art really is promising. Yeah, so it's a good buck for him.
You have
suspect.
Dr. Alice Coxton, no less, who works at the Met.
I know, but it's special, so we will have to see.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
we're still in the 30s. It's not nowadays. It would be easier, clearly, but in the 30s, I'm not sure how much nude art would be okay or not.
Yeah. Having said this, the Venus de Milo is like so naked.
Yeah, but she's that's ancient. That's old things. That's different.
That is true.
It is like different.
Thinking, she's like super naked.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much in the 20s and 30s officially was from newer artists. Okay.
I mean, considering that they even forbade people to drink alcohol, I think they were probably prude. And it's the United States.
The art space is always special, to be honest. Yeah. Even in the States, the art space is special. So
yeah. No, but I mean, I get it. I was just, okay. So you make him an offer, and he is. You can tell that he's kind of shocked that somebody would offer him that kind of money, and you notice it's like he's shocked that it's so much.
Yeah.
And he accepts.
Then Alice would offer him that if it's okay, she would swing by tomorrow to bring the money for exchange for the paintings, if it's okay for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's agreed and fine. Yeah.
And Alice is... Will she ask him now? No, she will ask tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
She will not go further into the question we actually have. She will just let basically Dottie and Miss Minami knowing that we should not ask more today, we should ask tomorrow. And then she would just add, if you could tell him thank you for taking the time, and that these are really lovely paintings. He should not stop.
You can give me one more spot hidden. And maybe I should roll for Dottie as well. Oh.
I have a 26, which is a hard success.
Okay, she has a 26 as well. I don't believe it. And that is spot hidden. And for her, that's oh god. 77 divided by 2 is 38. It's a normal success for her. It's a hard success. Okay. So, and you had a critical, you had a hard success.
No,
as well.
hard success as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, what you do notice is that there is a painting that is turned basically back to front.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite large. It's rectangular.
Mm-hmm.
You would say it's probably about 2 meters wide and about probably a meter high. And you haven't seen that one.
Then Alice would stop in the tracks before we leave and would just very naively just ask if this would be another painting that she would like to look at, and maybe see if that would be an even better choice.
Takane translates, and the two host and hostess look at each other, and you notice that there's something passing between them. And
Alice would add, only clearly if that would be something you would even be willing to part with.
Make a persuade roll, please.
With a friendly smile. Oh no, an 84. You are going as well.
By the end of the evening, there won't be any dice left.
I have 2 sets at the moment.
Okay. Basically, you notice that he's beginning to sweat profusely.
Okay.
And shaking. And Sakura waves gently towards the door, and she follows you out. And she closes the door so that he's inside and she's on the basically in the corridor with you. And she speaks very, very quickly and very quietly with Takane, and only Takane. She doesn't even look at the two of you.
It's Akane, not Takane.
Sorry, Akane. I know an Akane and I know a Takane, and I've confused the two all the time. Akane. And then she bows and then she walks back in. All right, so here's the situation. She's explained to me that this is a picture, it's a painting he drew after a nightmare. He says it was something that came back to haunt him from his past. She says it's terrifying. It's a weird landscape thingy. It looks like it's underwater. She's begged him to get rid of it, or even destroy it. She's even been so close to destroying it herself every so often. She's not been able to do it, but she believes that one day this painting is going to kill him.
Then tomorrow we'll bring some extra money and see if he's willing to sell it to get rid of it.
I have a feeling that Sakura would be more than happy to part with it.
The question is if he's willing to part with it.
she will talk to him?
We can add some notions of letting go of bad things and making good out of it. Money might be exactly the way to go, and that he hold on long enough to that. And now it's time to enjoy life, at least the best he can.
I think that's a sentiment that he could get behind if you phrase it like that.
Maybe. We will see. But it was good that I did not ask the actual question whether we are here. But, well, then I would say, ladies, let's find a place to have lunch and then see what the professor says.
Okay, you find a place where you have lunch. It's gonna be another traditional restaurant. So because you're not gonna go back to the hotel, but you're gonna go to the borough where the university is. Sorry, where the he's not. Well, he is a professor at the university, but you are visiting him at the where was it? You are going to visit him at the was it the Tokyo Imperial University?
I think so.
Yeah, okay, you are going to the Tokyo Imperial University.
No, it's not a university. We had the meeting in the Geographical Society building because there was the reception, so there we would meet with him.
Yeah, it's the Geographical Society. You are right, and it's in Kojimachi, which is near the Imperial Palace. It's the same precinct or same borough. So you make your way back there. You have your lunch there, and it is number 06. And yeah. So, and since it is 11 o'clock, we'll see what happens next time when you meet the professor.
I am curious. I'm more curious about the painting. Oh no, I have to wait now.
Yes, you have to wait now, but well played, well played. So thank you for playing, and everybody out there, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. And also, I mean, this is the first English-speaking podcast we're doing this year, so I hope we hope you'll have a brilliant 2026, and we will talk to you soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.